Are you someone who does all the manifestation stuff and you find that it's not really working for you? You're not getting the results that you're looking for? I'm going to explain in this video what is going on, how manifestation actually works, what it is actually all about, and what needs to happen in order for you to begin to really see the results that you're looking for, to experience the stuff you want to experience, have those kind of relationships, whether there's a certain income you're looking for, whatever it is for you, doesn't matter. The core principle applies across the board. Manifestation can get a lot of flack, and there's a lot of confusion around it because there's a lot of people that teach on it and are giving, I think possibly, maybe, I don't know if it's in their intention, but they are essentially taking advantage of people's fears and pain points and the suffering that they're in order to promote a course or a product or whatever, and giving all kinds of tools. I've seen everything from speaking to water to writing notes and putting them under your pillow, write something 3 times and fold the paper 6 times and turn in a circle 9 times, and all the different kinds of things. And these tools are all useful to the extent that they shift how you feel. So if they help you shift how you feel, then they're useful for you. But ultimately, they're not required. They're permission slips for you to feel empowered or to feel successful or to feel confident or whatever it is that you're needing to shift within yourself. What it really comes down to is you are going to attract, you're going to experience, you're going to see things reflected back to you according to who you are being. And when I say who you are being, what I'm talking about is that vibrational energy that exists, that you are. So what are you emanating? And if that's kind of confusing to you and I don't really get it, I don't get what vibration means, I don't get what energy means. Think about it when, say you walk into a room and there's a couple of people in that room, and as soon as you walk in, you feel, even though they've said nothing, they haven't told you anything, you can feel like, oh, this doesn't feel good. You know, there's some sort of tension here, even without any words conveyed at all. You felt the energy, right? There's a certain vibration that these people, they're vibrating in. There's an energy, a frequency that they're vibrating on. And you might not necessarily be able to put words to it. You just know this doesn't feel good. So we have like a scale, if you want to look at it this way. There's a vibrational scale. A map that I like to use is the map of consciousness, mapped out by David Hawkins. And he uses emotion to map out these levels, these frequencies of vibration, starting all the way down from shame all the way up into enlightenment. Something of a lower vibration typically doesn't feel good to us. We don't like the way it feels. Things like shame and guilt, apathy, grief, fear, anger, these kinds of things. Something of a higher vibration, this feels good to us. These are things like love and joy and peace, compassion, empathy, acceptance. So depending on what we are vibrating, we label it with words. So feeling is the word we invented to describe the conscious awareness of the vibration that we're. So when we understand everything is vibration, and then we look at the law of attraction, that like attracts like, this is really ultimately what manifestation, where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. So the thing is, the universe is truthful. So this is where we get to see what's really going on, and we can say, I want to be wealthy. We can even affirm it. I am wealthy, I'm abundant, I am free, I am prosperous, I am, all the things that we can say about ourselves. But that could just be lip service. What's really going on vibrationally and energetically for us is, I'm feeling lack. I don't feel like I'm good enough. I'm not worthy. I can't do it. I'm afraid of being successful because then everybody's gonna, want to take advantage of me. We can have all kinds of things going on vibrationally. And that's what the universe is communicating with. That's what we're seeing a reflection of. So this is why, even though you're doing all the really great manifestation things that you're doing, that they might not be working, because it's essentially lip service. You're doing things, but the energy and vibration isn't coming alongside of it. So if your affirmations don't shift actually how you are feeling, then they're not really helping you. If your journaling or your vision board isn't helping you to feel the emotions that go along with the achievement of the goal that you have, then it's not helping you. And then let's go a bit deeper. And this is where I'm going to help you guys. I'm going to do a series of this in order to help you begin to make some shifts on that deeper level. So I've seen it where there's these people that work really, really hard and they don't experience the results. And then I've seen other people, they don't seem to work very hard and their results are just through the roof. So that led me to really dig in and try to understand what was going on there. And I found out under the surface, vibrationally, that the people, even though they were working very hard, they had beliefs and energy, trapped energy in their body of things like betrayal or fear or sadness or confusion, or I'm looking at, I have a list of emotions here: blaming, jealousy, shame. Shame is a big one for a lot of people. Unsupported, and the list goes on and on. And so this is energy is emanating, is vibrating within the individual. And therefore, this is what is being reflected back to them by the universe. The universe just says yes. So whatever vibrational frequency you are on, you just get more. The universe says yes. So if you're like, life is hard and things don't work out for me, but I want to be wealthy and I wish I was, I wish that I had that ideal partner, the universe just says yes. So what are you doing? Who are you being in that moment? When you want something, that implies I don't have it, right? So you're just getting more of I don't have it. If you wish for something, it's something that you currently don't have, that's maybe off in the future or just kind of like a fluffy thing in the air. And so the universe just says, yes, it's off in the future, it's a fluffy thing in the air, it's not right now. We must shift who we are being in this now moment, because this is only the moment that we are able to create in, is right now. So when we look under the surface and we start digging in, and I've worked with many clients one-on-one, and I do this as a group with people, as with individuals as well, what we see is that they might have a goal of something they want to achieve. Let's say that's a financial goal. But as a young child, they experienced, let's just say, creative insecurity. So there was something that they did as a child where it was like they created a project or an art piece or something like that, and they put their heart and soul into it, and then they showed it to their teacher and the teacher criticized it, or they showed it to mom and dad and they ignored them. And so there was this emotion of like insecure about your creation, and you trapped it in your body and you've been holding it there ever since. And so there's an energy of like, what I create isn't good enough, it's not going to work, people don't like it. And so the universe just says yes, and you keep experiencing it. That's why you see it in your reality, because it's vibrationally going on within you. So you could be completely unaware that this is happening, right? And you could be affirming, I'm successful, I'm all these things, but your vibrational field is sending out a signal of creative insecurity. And so the universe says yes to that, and you experience rejection, you experience self-sabotage, where you won't actually take action towards your goals because you're afraid of being criticized or it not working or people laughing at you or whatever. Or you experience people who don't appreciate you. These kind of people will come into your life. You might have a boss who just, no matter how hard you work or what you do, there's no validation there, there's no approval, and on it goes, because your outer world is a mirror to show you what's going on within you so that you can heal it, so that you can let it go, so you can overcome it. So what I would like to do here, I haven't done this on YouTube or Instagram or any of my channels and stuff that I have done so far, but this is what I do with people one-on-one, and also what I do with my group, my healing group that we do every week. And I go through, and when I work with an individual, I'll use muscle testing to see what are the trapped emotions that are going on within you. And we start releasing those one by one. But I connected with spirit, or whatever terminology you want to use, with myself. I use muscle testing for myself and asked me, my higher self, I'm like, what are the 7 main negative trapped emotions that I should create videos on in order to help people release this from, if they can't work with me directly or in the group or something like that, like how can I put this out for free in order to help people? The top emotions that came up were shame, abandonment, sadness, jealousy, heartache, lack of control, and shock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one emotion at a time, and we're going to talk about it, we're going to learn a little bit about it, and you're going to go on a bit of a journey with yourself in terms of where is this going on within you, and then we're going to release it together. And the method that I use is called the emotion code. And so I go through and we test and we see, what's this emotion? Where is it trapped in your body? How old were you when it was trapped? And what was the experience that you had that you actually felt an overwhelming quantity of that emotion? Typically, when we trap an emotion, it means pretty much it overwhelms our system, and we don't have the tools or whatever in order to process it and allow it to move through our body. So now we're going to look at that. We're going to see And obviously, because I'm not talking with you directly, I'm not going to be able to find the specific thing for you, but be confident in yourself that you're going to, and trust your intuition to what comes up for you is what it is, is the situation where it is in your body. And that's going to make sense as we go through here. So healing happens through intention, through witness, and through knowing. We've used the word faith before, but sometimes people don't really fully know what that word means, to have faith. But that basically that healing happens through the shift in vibration. If I take an example out of the Bible, so I grew up learning about Jesus, and there was stories of him, being this great healer, and people would come to him and be like, please heal me, or my son is sick, or I'm blind, or whatever, and Jesus would do different things in order to heal these people. Interestingly enough, Jesus himself said, "It is your faith that has healed you." Jesus didn't claim that he was this almighty healer. Other people had faith and belief in Jesus that he could heal them. But the actual thing that was healing those people was the belief in their mind. It was a shift. They were putting their faith in Jesus, thinking it was him that was doing it. But it wasn't Jesus having some magical power on them. It was that they shifted their knowingness. They went from I'm sick to I'm healed. So they went through Jesus to do it, their belief system. They didn't have the belief in themselves. But at least the belief was there. And so when we do these healing practices, I don't have any magical power more than you do. We all have magical power. It's our ability to know something to be true that creates that experience for us. And that is what healing is. And I know this because I see it happen all the time. I see people healed. I've had clients who have been in tremendous pain, and we've released trapped emotions, and that pain has instantly gone away, and it's been there for years. And I've seen people's financial situations change. I've seen relationships change, all the stuff. So I'm in this knowingness of the ability to create whatever reality you want. And so I'm vibrating at that frequency. So what's happening here, and this is what any healer is doing, and Bashar has talked about this as well. If you don't know who Bashar is, go look him up. He's super cool. A healer vibrates at a certain frequency and basically creates a space, and it's an invitation for you to join them on that frequency. And it's up to you whether you're going to choose to raise your vibration to that level or not. It's always on that individual to choose that. So what we're doing here is we're going to go through and understand, here's an area where you've been holding on to something of a lower frequency. And I'm going to then invite you to let it go. And so that your vibration can just naturally raise. And then we're going to do that one by one on each of these videos. So without any further ado, the next trapped emotion that we are going to be looking at is heartache. As I was going through, I was muscle testing to see what are the 7 trapped emotions that I should do. And this one came up, and I just felt, that heartache that's there. So many people are living in this, are holding on to this emotion of heartache. And I've felt it in multiple ways as well. My heart hurts a lot of time, or has in the past. I feel like I've really worked through a lot of it, for the things that happen in our world, especially stuff that happened to children. I have young children, and so you hear about these things, and I just literally feel like my heart just go, like it just hurts so much. And I think that there's a lot of heartache in the world right now with things that are going on. It's been a rough few years for a lot of people. We've seen a lot of very difficult things coming up for our world, in our world over the previous years, but really over all of history. There's going to always be that ebb and flow of difficult things, of painful things, because this is where we see like the process of expansion is going to include the full polarity of darkness to light. So we don't have the control over all the events that are happening. What we do have control over is how we respond to it, how we react to it, how we engage it. And so if we are in resonance with heartache, what's going to happen is you're going to continually meet situations in that feeling. And heartache is going to be much more in the victim side of things, where you don't have control, where you are powerless, where you are in a place of hurt, where you are in a place of poor me, and it's victim. It's a very powerless state. I understand having the emotions, and they're not bad emotions. None of the emotions are bad. But what I do, and what I'm inviting you to do through this series, is begin to utilize these emotions that we've all experienced and we're all holding on to in different kinds of ways, or we have held on to, in order to begin to shift. Because if we just stay in the vibration of these emotions, we're not helping ourselves and we're not helping anybody else. So we know it's not useful to stay there. And even though it feels maybe justified to stay there, it's not helpful. So how can we take what we've been through as a catalyst to move forward, to move ourselves forward, and ultimately move society and the whole population of this planet forward? My intention is never to be cold or non-sympathetic about what you've been through and the atrocities and all these things that go around the world. My desire is for us to come together and as a collective raise our vibration into places of love and peace and joy, to not stay in these lower vibrational energies, so that we can help the evolution of us as a species, so to speak, so that we can move beyond things like war and atrocities and hurting each other and a lot of these things. So when I bring up the word heartache, and you're going to have things come to mind. Maybe your heart was broken as a young person. You fell in love and that relationship ended in some kind of way. Maybe you have heartache around relationship with your parents or a sibling, another friend, an animal, a pet, things like that. It can come up in all kinds of ways. The definition of heartache is anguish and pain of the heart, distress, usually as a result of difficulty or sadness in a relationship, felt as a crushing or burning physical sensation in the chest. Just like in the previous videos I've done, and if you haven't watched those, I would encourage you to go through each of them as well. What we do is we look at each emotion and we see, where is the place in my life where I'm really holding on to this, or what have I been through, what have I experienced where heartache just was like an overwhelming feeling for me, and essentially that's when it traps in the body. And even though that it could be 20 years ago, it could be 30 years ago, it doesn't matter, it's still resonating there. You've still got that energy in you, that vibration, which is therefore continually creating your experiences that you're having. Even though you could be having a real positive mindset, this is going on underneath the surface. And then it's like, I'm so confused, I don't know, I'm doing all the right things. Why am I continually seeing relationships not go well? Why am I continually seeing things not work out for me? Why is it that no matter how hard I try, I seem to always, be met with failure? Whatever the story is for you, this stuff going on underneath the surface is where we need to bring our attention to. And so that heartache for you, we want to look at it. And it might be very tempting to not look and to not be real with ourselves. And it could be very intense for you. It could be a major heartache. It could be like, you're like, there's no way, Megan, that I could let this go. Like, you don't understand. I was hurt so bad, or this person did this thing to me. I hear you, and I know that it can feel like a very difficult thing to do. And I understand you might be someone who's like, the heartache was too much. Like, you don't understand, Megan, what I've been through. I can't just let this go. This person did this to me. They hurt me like in ways you can't imagine. Your heartache might be very, very intense. But if you want to move beyond this, if you want to experience a reality where you experience love and connection and heartful experiences where you're able to feel joy, you got to let it go. It doesn't mean what that person did or that was right, or it doesn't mean that the experience was good, or that we're saying it's okay that happened. What we're doing is we're letting go of the energy you're holding around it for your own good, so that you can begin to shift, right? What's the goal? Shifting our vibration. We only create in this now moment, and we get what we are being. So if you're in resonance with heartache, the universe, it's neutral in that it's not going to play favorites or anything like that. The universe just says yes. So if you're in resonance with heartache, people hurt me, I'm always, abandoned, I'm left behind, life is hard, people are awful, the universe just says yes. Here's more of that. Yes, it's true. Yep. So it's to your own detriment to hold on to these things. And I know we want to, like, it's maybe somehow where we feel like we're punishing the other person by holding on to it, or whoever, but ultimately you're the one suffering. So it's time to let it go. It's time to let that go so that you can be free, so that you can have a different experience than what you've previously been having. So for yourself, notice, where is that heartache in you? It's very likely you're going to feel it in the heart. For most people it's there, but it could be somewhere else in your body. So just close your eyes and notice what the memories are that come up for you around this emotion. And if it's something current even that you're going through, it might be even around the world situation that's happening now. That feeling of heartache, anguish and pain of the heart. And now, if you're a visual person, we'll use visualization. And if you don't see pictures in your mind, that's okay. You can just sense it. It doesn't have to be a visual picture. You can see or sense the emotion leaving through your body. You could use an image of black wispy smoke or goo or a flash of light or a dark energy of some kind, whatever resonates with you. See that leaving the body. Thank you so much that we're able to release this trapped emotion across all time, space, reality, dimensions. Thank you. And so it is. Just take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just releasing the heartache completely. And we just invite that loving, warm, healing energy in through the top of the head, swirling around throughout the body, especially going to that heart center area. And anywhere else that light and warmth and healing needs to go. And just feel that love. Feel the emotion of love. You can evoke that emotion, make it stronger if you need to use imagery. If you have children and you have the image of them wrapping their arms around your neck and giving you a big hug. Maybe it's a pet. When you come home, is so excited to see you. Whatever image helps of really bring that emotion of love for you. And I want you to feel that love and sort of sense it and feel it in and around your heart space area. You are the one that heals you. You are the one that brings the fulfillment and the satisfaction to yourself. It's not going to come from anybody else. There's no one there that's going to save you. There's no one that's going to fix you. It's up to you. And by feeling that love and wrapping your heart up in that, you are enough. You are all you need. Thank you. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Bring yourself back into the room. Okay, so this is a big one, and I congratulate you for doing this work. If you're still with me, you're a unique individual, and I really appreciate you. A lot of people run away from this kind of thing, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. So when we can face it and work through it, this is where we see real change happen. And the more of us that do this, more of us we're raising our vibration to these places of love and joy and peace. That's very magnetic, and other people are going to want to join in on that. We're going to make we are already making a massive impact on the collective. And so I congratulate you in that process, and that you're willing to do it, and that you're one of those warriors. Our battle is not against flesh and blood. It's about unseen forces against unseen forces and the principalities and all these kinds of things. So by you doing this work and you're ultimately raising your vibration, it's beyond our understanding the massive and powerful impact that we're really having on the planet. And when we stay in the lower vibrational stuff, which is fear and fighting and judgment and hatred and condemnation and all that kind of thing, we just perpetuate more of it. And it's so tempting to be in there. We want to fight in there and we want to prove people wrong and show people how they're doing the wrong thing and all that kind of stuff. But then we're just a part of it. We're fostering it. It takes something different, takes something new in order to solve problems. You're not going to solve it on that level. So simply by you becoming a person of love, of joy, of peace, of freedom, of abundance, energetically, what you're doing is you are raising the collective. And that's how we're going to overcome these things that are existing down here, like war and famine and trafficking and all this kind of stuff. We're not going to fix it on that level. It's going to come from people like you who are brave enough to do this kind of stuff and work on yourself, because as we change the world in here, the outside world can't help but reflect that back to us. So once again, there's other videos that you can go back and watch, and there's more coming after this as well, where you can work through these different things and begin your journey or continue on the journey of healing. So we'll see you in the next video. I hope you really enjoyed that video and were able to take away some nuggets that are helping you on your journey. I am deeply committed to my mission to raise the vibration of the world one person at a time. Of course, that starts with me and my own journey and then extends through the teaching and energy and healing work that I do on a day-to-day basis. I see really two angles to come at this journey of evolution for us to raise our vibration so that we can experience abundance and freedom and joy, those loving relationships, those healthy bodies, all those things that you're searching for. It actually is a journey that happens from within. And on the one angle, we come at this from understanding, gaining wisdom, beginning to discover ourselves and who we really are. How does the cosmos work? What is the soul's journey? This is why I teach on YouTube and give videos on my social media, in order to gain understanding and wisdom and awareness so that we can logically move ourselves forward. The other angle to come at this is through inner work, through healing, through what has been coined as shadow work. This is why I do energy work, and I use things like the emotions code, like bioresonance, do subconscious reprogramming, brain entrainment, all these beautiful and wonderful things in order to do work inwardly to shift our vibration. When I say shift our vibration, you naturally, at spirit soul level, vibrate at a very high level with perfect abundance and freedom and joy and all those things. But what happens though through life experiences, we tend to hold on to things like limiting beliefs, traumas, fears, doubts, anxiety, stress, all this kind of stuff that's not you. So our journey of raising our vibration is actually a journey of letting go of that which is not us. And so that is the other angle that I utilize in order to help people raise their vibration into these places that feel really, really good. What happens over YouTube though, or over these videos, is that there can be a disconnect. You can't necessarily talk to me or ask your questions. And so you sometimes feel like you're alone. So I'm really excited to announce that I have a membership where we can meet once a week and you're able to ask me questions as well as work with other people that are like-minded and on this journey together of raising our vibration, of manifesting lives that are beautiful and wonderful, that we're so happy and excited to be alive, living our passions and doing the things that bring us a lot of joy. On those calls, I will actually work with you individually as well. For people who are wanting help, I can release negative trapped emotions right there in person. For those who would like that done, I can use my bioresonance technology in order to read your frequency right then and there and actually send you frequency that will help bring more balance for you as well. And you can also, again, ask your questions, and I share even more tips and tricks than I have available currently on YouTube on how to heal the shadow on the day-to-day when you're on your own and I'm not there with you. What are these things and practices that you can do that ultimately raise your vibration? As we shift and release that which is not us, all the money and the relationships and the love and the health, it just is a byproduct of that. It's a symbol of the shift that's happening within yourself. So if this membership is something that sounds exciting to you, you want to connect with other like-minded people, you want to connect with me and grow in community together, there is a link in the description where you're able to get more information on that and sign up, and I would love to see you there.